time, in the middle of a dense forest, there was a small house, where there lived a pretty little girl named Little Red Riding Hood. One sunny day her mother called her into the kitchen of their little house. "Grandma is sick," she said. "Bring her this basket of cakes, but be very careful. Stay on the path in the forest and don't stop. If you walk quickly, nothing will happen to you." "Don't worry," she said. "I will run to Grandma without stopping." Little Red Riding Hood kissed her mother and left, literally, walked off. The little girl started her long trip through the forest. But she soon forgot the wise words of her mother. She saw a blackberry shrub beside the path. "What lovely blackberries!" she exclaimed, and laid her basket on the ground. "They are so nice and ripe, and so big. Delicious. I'll maybe just have one more." Suddenly Little Red Riding Hood remembered her mother, her promise, her grandmother, and the basket. She quickly ran back towards the path. The forest became thicker and thicker. A yellow butterfly flew through the trees. "Oh, how pretty!" she cried. And she chased the butterfly through the trees. "I catch you!" Then she saw some purple flowers in the grass. "Oh, how beautiful!" she exclaimed. "Grandma will be really happy about them." And she picked a huge bunch of flowers. Meanwhile, two menacing eyes watched her from behind a tree. A strange noise in the woods gave Little Red Riding Hood a fright, and her heart started to thump. "I must find the path and run away from here, quickly." Little Red Riding Hood ran, and finally found the path. But as soon as she relaxed, she heard another strange noise behind her. A very deep voice said, "Hello, little girl. Why are you walking in the forest all alone? Where are you going?" "I'm taking some cakes to my grandma. She lives at the end of this path," said Little Riding Hood with a very quiet voice. "Does your grandma live alone?" asked the wolf, for it was the big bad wolf who she was talking with. "Oh, yes," replied Little Red Riding Hood, "and she never opens the door to strangers." "You have a very clever grandma," answered the wolf. "It was very nice talking to you. Maybe we'll meet again." The wolf left, literally, walked off, thinking, I will first eat the grandma, and then I will wait for the little girl." The wolf arrived at the end of the path, where the little house stood. Knock! Knock! The wolf knocked on the door. "Who's there?" called Grandma from her bed. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood. I have brought you some cakes because you are sick," answered the wolf, trying his best to hide his deep wolf voice. "Oh, how marvelous," said Grandma. She didn't notice anything strange. "Come in." Poor Grandma. In less than 2 seconds the wolf jumped across the room and swallowed the old lady. Gulp! Then, the wolf put on Grandma's dress and hat, and laid down in bed. Soon, Little Red Riding Hood knocked on the door. "Grandma, it's me. Can I come in?" The wolf tried to imitate Grandma's fine voice, and answered, "Hello, my child. Come in." "What a deep voice you have, Grandma," said the little girl, in surprise. "So I can greet you better, my child," said the wolf. "And what big eyes you have, Grandma." "So I can see you better, my child." "And what big hands you have," exclaimed Little Red Riding Hood, walking towards the bed. "So I can hug you better, my child," said the wolf. "And what a big mouth you have," murmured the little girl in a feeble voice. "So I can eat you better," growled the wolf, and he leapt out of the bed and swallowed her as well. Then with a full stomach he fell asleep. At this moment a hunter emerged from the forest. He saw the house and decided to stop and ask for a glass of water. He was looking for a big wolf who had been stealing sheep from the village. The hunter heard a strange whistling inside the house. He looked through the window and saw the big wolf lying snoring on Grandma's bed. "The wolf! He won't escape me this time." Carefully and quietly, the hunter crept into the cottage. Approaching, literally, walking towards, the bed, he heard a little girl crying, and the sound came from the wolf's stomach. The hunter cut open the stomach of the wolf with his knife, and out popped Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma, well and healthy. The hunter filled the wolf's stomach with rocks from the garden, and then stitched it closed again. When the wolf woke up and saw the hunter, he ran away as fast as he could. The big rocks gave him such a sore stomach that he became vegetarian, and left the village alone forever. "It's safe to go home now," said the hunter to Little Red Riding Hood. "The big bad wolf is gone, there is no more danger on the path." Little Red Riding Hood's mother arrived at Grandma's house when the sun was setting. She had been worried when her daughter hadn't come home. When she saw Little Red Riding Hood, she burst into tears of joy. "Oh, you're well." After they thanked the hunter again, Little Red Riding Hood and her mother walked back home through the forest. As they were walking quickly through the forest, the little girl said to her mother, "We must always stay on the path and never stop. If we do that, nothing will happen to us."